Welcome to the show. I'm Joel Pereira. Now, it's a nippy morning in Bangalore and we find ourselves at the Park Ferme at the start of the K1000 Rally of Bangalore. Now, the K1000 is a legendary event. It's in its 39th year running. But this year, it's a little more significant. It's also going to be the deciding factor whether the team of Amit Rajit Ghosh and Ashwin Naik seal the championship at this event. Will Team Mahindra continue their domination in the timings charts? Well, let's find out. The K1000 might be round 4 of the 2013 season of the INRC, but it's also one of India's oldest continuously held motorsports events. It's in its 39th year running.
Those days it was about 2000 kilometers rally. 1600 kilometers, that's why it's called as K1000. Okay, we used to exceed, we couldn't make it to 1600, but 2000, 2100 it used to be like that. Then now slowly it had become stage rallies started, then it became K100. So we still kept as a K1000.
On paper at least, the distance covered by the entire rally doesn't seem like much, less than a day's worth compared to stage rallies like the Raid de Himalaya or Desert Storm. But where those rallies depend on car durability, in the INRC it's pure speed. And slamming into a rut at 140 kilometers per hour does some truly unthinkable, unspeakable things to your car. Essentially circuit tracks spread over Tumkur, the 3 special stages have names that belie their menace. There's Alpha, Beta and India Mines, the only one that gives you some idea of what you're going to be driving through. The first stage, Alpha, which is 14.5 kilometers long. The second stage, Beta, which is also 14.5 kilometers long. And the last and final stage, called India Mines and run through an actual live mine, is 7.3 kilometers. It's a total of 581.39 kilometers broken into 469.5 kilometers of transport stages and 111.11 kilometers of super stages. Each stage will be run twice on Saturday and once on Sunday. The name of the game here is to complete the stage as quickly as possible, and timing differences between drivers go down to fractions of seconds. At the INRC, you've got only 2 things on your mind: speed and holding the car together.
Very, very challenging terrain, if I might say.
Most of the sections are not, you can't see, it's all blind. We are either going up or going left, right. So it's, or up, left, right, like that. So it depends a lot on the pace notes.
The 2013 season has seen the emergence of the SUV category, represented by the star-studded Mahindra Adventure team, with their super XUVs being driven by Gaurav Gill, Lohit Urs and Sunny Sidhu. There's also the exciting 1600cc category, which has seen its stock rise since the emergence of the 1.6 VW Polo as a worthy rally machine, alongside a couple of Balenos. For younger drivers, there's the JINRC or the Junior INRC category, with most drivers opting for souped-up Maruti S-Teams with a sprinkling of 1.2 Polos. Finally, competing for the INRC title are the big 2-litre Mitsubishi Cedias. All cars in the INRC, with the exception of suspension and safety systems, run pretty close to stock. But with weight reductions, intake, exhaust and ECU changes, along with rebuilds to the engine to allow greater tolerances, power at the wheel does get boosted by 10 to 15%. It's day 1 of the K1000 and this is a pretty decent example of what the cars are going to be facing. Now the K1000 runs entirely on gravel and that sounds fine on paper, but the track that we are on right now essentially is a combination. You've got these hard-packed surfaces full of rocks and other things which don't look very relenting, but on other parts of the stage you've got clay, and that after 2 or 3 rounds of the mud-munching tires of the XUV 500s and the Evo 10 are going to pretty much turn into talcum powder, and that's what the drivers lower down in the order are going to have to face. There's also the IRC category, which is meant for all-wheel drive cars and drivers who are foreign nationals. Sadly, with all-wheel drive sedans in India being hugely expensive, there was only one all-wheel drive sedan here, a fire-breathing Mitsubishi Evo 10, brought along by Star Tuner and one of the veterans of Indian motorsport, Leela Krishnan. Also driving in this category was Malaysian driver Karimjit Singh, also known as the Flying Sikh, former winner of the PWRC, now racing in the IRC category in a Team Slideways back VW Polo. But this was not the same Polo that he's used for the past 3 rallies this season. What Karimjit was driving this year was the R2, VW's Polo for the 2014 season. After 3 exciting legs, the Rally of Chennai, the Tarmac Rally of Nasik and the Rally of Coimbatore, the battle lines between teams and drivers had been drawn. As far as championship points were concerned, the K1000 was going to be the decider. Here's a complete list of the entries. Flag-off began typically. Ceremonial flag-offs at the Mantri Mall right in Bangalore City, with plenty of cheering and a lot of gawking from innocent bystanders. The stage was set for the following morning, and that was when things were going to get real.
Technical, proper driver stages. If there's no commitment, you can never put up a time over here.
Especially third stage, it goes through the mine, so it is very loose. There's a lot of mud, so the tires struggle for traction. And on those hairpins, there are places where there are some 7 hairpins going uphill. They're just rocks, and you could probably walk quicker.
There's a lot of blind curves. Your pace notes need to be spot on.
I think these are one of the best stages I've seen in INRC for since a few years now.
It's been a while since the last rally. The Rally of Coimbatore was held in July, and the final loop of the first stage had drivers and co-drivers still shaking off the cobwebs.
Well, the first stage, I was just getting my eye in because I've been a little rusty. So the last rally also, we just did 5 kilometers and the engine failed. It's been a long time since I actually drove on gravel. So feeling the car, how the car feels. We didn't really do too much testing. So the first stage was more testing, get to grips with the car.
The sections are very, very rough. In fact, as you can see, we just hit a huge rock. We had 2 punctures on stage 2.
Okay.
And we've been nursing our cars for almost 15 kilometers in. Pretty rough, I would say. Have to be careful. Have to have our notes right.
Now the INRC has 2 types of courses, mud and tarmac, and the dusty K1000 track is one of the muddiest. Super short, super fast stages, none of them more than 15 kilometers long, really put the drivers to the test.
The third was more demanding because you had some downhill sections and you didn't have straights. So whoever's a better driver will do a good time out there.
Very high speeds, sometimes quite scary because very high speed, but we really enjoyed it.
Since the distances at an INRC are so short, there really isn't any warm-up period for the car or driver. You hit the ground running and you stay that way till the end of the race. The K1000 is completely mud and dirt. The track is essentially carved out of what is an undulating field and parts of a quarry, with plenty of very fast corners, hairpins, lightning-quick straights and huge jumps. The effect on both cars and drivers was immediate. Cars started breaking down from the word go. It was time for the first service. At the end of Loop 1, we find ourselves back in the service park where the battered cars come in and mechanics work hard to make them ship-shape for Loop 2 later today and Loop 3 tomorrow. We're going to take a quick break, but before we go, here's a quick look at the leaderboard.